My brothers and sisters, there are moments when life feels unbearably heavy. You wake up with worries already waiting for you. You try to be strong, you try to be patient, but deep inside you wonder, does Allah really see what I'm going through? Let me tell you this with certainty and gentleness. Allah is fully aware, not only of your situation but of every tear you hide, every fear you don't speak, and every prayer you whisper when no one else is listening. Allah does not miss anything. Not a single breath, not a single pain. Sometimes the hardest part of a trial is not the trial itself, but the feeling of being unseen. That feeling that your struggle is silent, that people don't understand, that relief feels delayed. But what feels hidden from the world is never hidden from Allah. And Allah says in the Quran that He knows what is within the hearts. Before you find the words, He already knows. Before you explain your pain, He already understands it better than you ever could. And here is something your heart needs to hear today. Delay does not mean neglect. Silence does not mean absence. When Allah delays changing your situation, it is not because He is unaware. It is because He is doing something deeper than what your eyes can see. You see the problem. Allah sees the full picture. You see the pain of now, Allah sees the protection of later. You see the confusion, Allah sees the outcome. Many of the people Allah loves most were tested in ways that lasted longer than they expected, yet those very moments became the reason their hearts were elevated, their sins were erased, and their closeness to Allah increased. Sometimes Allah does not immediately remove the hardship because He is strengthening you before changing the situation. Sometimes He is building patience. Sometimes He is redirecting your heart away from something that would have harmed you. Sometimes He is preparing you for a blessing that requires a stronger, softer, more trusting heart. This is why trust is so important. Trusting Allah does not mean you won't feel pain. It means you refuse to believe that your pain is meaningless. It means choosing to believe that even this hardship is being measured, guided, and controlled by a Lord who is most merciful. When your mind starts asking, why is this taking so long? Let your heart answer, Allah's timing is wiser than my urgency. When your thoughts say, I can't handle this anymore, let your soul respond, Allah would not place this on me if I were not capable of carrying it with His help. When hope feels fragile, remember that hope in Allah is not based on what you see. It is based on who Allah is. And Allah is gentle. Allah is just. Allah is aware. Allah is near. Your du'a is not wasted. Your patience is not ignored. Your struggle is not forgotten. Even when relief does not come the way you imagined, it comes in the way that is best for you, even if you only understand it later. So don't lose hope, not today, not in this moment. Hold on to Allah even with trembling hands. Trust Him even when your heart feels tired. Keep turning back to Him again and again, because the one who sees your difficulty is the same one who has the power to change it at exactly the right time. And when relief finally arrives, you will realize that Allah was with you in every step, even in the moments you thought you were walking alone. As we continue from where the heart last rested, let us speak honestly about something many believers feel, but rarely say aloud. You want to trust Allah? You know you should trust Allah? Yet some days, trust itself feels heavy. Not because you doubt Allah, but because you are exhausted. After patience stretches longer than expected. After du'a is repeated with no visible change. After hope rises and falls too many times, the heart begins to feel tired. And in that tiredness, a quiet fear appears. What if my trust is weak? What if I'm failing this test? This fear is not a sign of disbelief, it is a sign of humanity. Allah did not create you as an emotionless being. He created you with a heart that feels deeply. And He knows that prolonged difficulty can weigh on even the strongest believer. This is why Allah never demanded perfection from the heart. He asked for sincerity. Sincerity is not feeling calm all the time. Sincerity is returning to Allah even when calm is absent. There is a misunderstanding many people carry, that trusting Allah means feeling peaceful at all times. That if anxiety returns, trust must have left. But trust is not an emotion that stays constant. Trust is a decision the heart renews again and again, even when emotions fluctuate. A person can trust Allah while still feeling fear. A person can rely on Allah while still shedding tears. A person can believe deeply while still struggling internally. What matters is not the absence of inner conflict, but the direction of your heart during that conflict. When your heart turns toward Allah instead of away from Him, even in confusion, that is trust. When pain pushes you to du'a instead of despair, that is trust. When exhaustion makes you whisper, Ya Allah, I don't understand, but I still choose you, that is trust at its purest form. Sometimes Allah allows trust to feel heavy so that it becomes real. Easy trust exists when nothing is at stake. Heavy trust exists when everything feels uncertain. And that is the trust Allah loves most. This is where many hearts grow, quietly and invisibly. In moments of prolonged difficulty, Allah often shifts His work from the outside to the inside. Before changing circumstances, He refines the heart that will receive the change. Because not every heart is ready for relief. Some hearts would break under blessings if they arrive too early. So Allah strengthens first. He teaches the heart how to lean on Him, not on outcomes. He teaches the soul how to breathe without guarantees. He teaches the believer how to find stability in Allah, not in results. This inner strengthening often feels uncomfortable. It feels like waiting without answers, like walking without clear direction, like standing still while the world seems to move forward. But in reality, something profound is happening. Your reliance is being purified. At first, we rely on Allah for an outcome. Later, we rely on Allah because He is Allah. That shift changes everything. When trust matures, it no longer says, I trust you, so you must fix this now. It says, I trust you even if I don't yet see how this will be fixed. This is not resignation. This is surrender with dignity. And surrender does not weaken the believer. It anchors them. You may notice that during long trials, Allah removes certain attachments from the heart. People you relied on disappoint you. Plans you depended on fall apart. Doors you expected to open remain closed. This is painful, but it is also purposeful. Allah sometimes removes secondary supports so that the heart learns where true support lies. Not to punish, but to protect. Because if your peace depends entirely on outcomes, people or timing, it will always be fragile. But if your peace is rooted in Allah, it becomes unshakable, even when circumstances remain unresolved. This does not mean the heart will never ache. It means the ache will no longer destroy you. There's a quiet strength that forms when you continue to trust while tired. A depth that cannot be achieved through ease alone. And Allah sees that strength even when you don't. Every time you choose patience over panic, even briefly, Allah sees it. Every time you stop a negative thought and turn to du'a, Allah sees it. Every time you continue worship despite feeling empty, Allah sees it. Nothing is lost. Sometimes you may look at others and wonder why their lives seem easier, their problems fewer, their relief quicker. But comparison blinds the heart to its own unique journey. Allah tailors every test precisely. What strengthens one heart might crush another. What delays one person saves another. Your test is custom made. Your timing is intentional. Your capacity is known. And here is something deeply comforting. Allah never demands from you what He has not already placed the ability to give. If you are still standing, still praying, still trying, even imperfectly, then you are not failing. You are progressing. Even when trust feels heavy, it is still trust. And perhaps the most beautiful form of reliance is when the heart says, Ya Allah, I am weak, but you are enough.